Hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. We are going through Exodus. We're continuing our journey through Exodus today. And we are now in Exodus chapter 3. We're going to be going through verses 7 through 10 today. And it's entitled, God Hears Our Prayers and Answers on His Timeline. It's kind of a long title, but that's what it is. You're going to see in this passage here, God says to Moses, I've heard the prayers, I've heard the cries of the people of Israel, and he's going to answer that, and he's doing it on his timeline. There were things that had to happen in God's timeline here, and he was going to allow those things to happen, and then he would guide what would continue on from that point. But he was giving the time, he was really giving time for the people that were in the nation, in the promised land right now, time to repent and turn from their ways. But they kept getting wickeder, and I guess that's a word that you would use here. Wickeder and wickeder. How do you like that? And so that's the time had to elapse to give them time to repent, and they didn't repent. So today, let's read from Exodus chapter 3, verses 7 through 10. All right? So it says this. The Lord said, I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I'm concerned about their suffering. Okay? So God's heard them praying and crying out, and he's crying out because of their slave drivers. So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them up out of the land into the good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, the home of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. And now the cry of Israel has reached me, and I have seen the way the Egyptians are oppressing them. So now go, I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. Okay. So it was God's timeline, and he was giving these people in the land at that time, and he lists out the people in the land, the home of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. The Jebusites lived near Jerusalem. All right, so all those people, he was giving a chance to repent, and I've said it before. And so the time had not passed. They didn't have enough time to repent. But now they've had enough time. And God has heard the prayers coming from the children of Israel. And so he's telling Moses, okay, now this is what's going to happen. And he wants Moses to now lead them out. Okay. So two things to remember from this. It's a shorter episode today. But two things. First of all, God hears our prayers. All right. And the second thing is this. He answers our prayers, not on my timeline, okay? My timeline would be way different than God's timeline, but it's not God's timeline. God has the wisdom to know what is best, and he will answer according to his timeline and what's best for my life, okay? There's some things I prayed for in the past. I'm like, God, give me this right now. Well, that would have been disastrous, but he has the wisdom to give me those things at a certain time. Okay, so remember that today. Thank you for watching. I'm a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through Exodus. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.